What? There's like nothing in there. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. Welcome to the superpilotish channel. My name is Graham Wilson, and today I'm going to save you some money from my basement. Yeah, so you can see I got the old. It's pretty cold out there today. It is minus 12 Celsius, which is minus 11 Fahrenheit. And I got my gas bill the other day, and it was enormous. So we got the thermostat turned down just a little bit, and I got a sweater on in the basement. It's a little bit colder. And hey, Jordan. Hey, Dan. Yeah, it's just it was the first time I got a bill for my natural gas. It was over $300. Like that happened in December, and that was a pretty warm month for December. And I used less than the year before, and then I got another whopper of a gas bill this year. I don't know about you guys, but it's like it's the natural gas prices have gone up. One of the things in there was a $48 carbon fee. Okay, great. What are you going to do? Turn down the thermostat and put on a sweater. So that's one way of saving money. And that's one of the things that pilots are actually pretty good at because at first, I mean, it takes a lot of money to learn how to fly in the first place. And then after that, you don't make any money at all for the first few years. Like it's peanuts. But, and yeah, so we got, oh, yeah, Jordan's correcting me here. Minus 12 Celsius is 10 Fahrenheit. Did I say minus 11? Oh, I messed that one up. So, anyways, yeah, it's pretty cold everywhere. And so, yeah, how can you save some cash? And I was thinking, well, I got here the yesterday I was checking the mailbox, and we still actually at my house we still have door-to-door delivery. So we have a mailman woman that shows up, and I don't even know what you're supposed to, a letter carrier, I guess. Yeah. So, anyways, we get this. I don't subscribe to the Windsor Star, the newspaper, but we do get the Star Review. And so that's basically all your flyers and stuff for what's on sale. So I check that every single week. But let's go through the news here. We'll see what's it. This is all the news that they think it's this is like the easiest thing in the world to do is when you're doing a live stream is to just like, hey, this is what's going on in the news, right? You can't think of a topic. So that's kind of where I got this from. I couldn't think of a topic, and it's like, what's in the news? But actually, this is more of a how to save money so you can go flying more or something. So this is an interesting little headline here. Workers have gained leverage, and they're I don't know. They keep talking about that there's going to be some sort of a recession coming up or something. I just don't see it. I mean, prices are definitely getting more on food and my gas bill, and prices are going up, but I don't know, there's still jobs out there like crazy. Like if you are willing to show up, you're hired. You show up to any construction site around here with work boots at 8 o'clock in the morning, and they'll say, okay, go unload the truck. So now this guy here works on a spotting press at Cavalier Tools. Okay, so Cavalier, they do, I don't know if they do dyes there or molds. I think they do molds. Anyways, that's so plastic. The thing he's working on there is probably some kind of automotive big chunk of steel, and he's spotting it. Yeah, if he's spotting it, that's probably mold, I think. So anyways, so what else we got here? Little Caesar's Pizza, $9.99. Not the best. Windsor pizzas are much better than that. What else we got here? We're talking about cars that no one can afford. Okay, how people rip off your cars. Well, if you got an older car like me without all the fancy stuff, it's they don't even. And actually, if you got a stick shift, they won't even. No one knows how to drive a stick shift, even the thieves. That's a good anti-theft device. Oh, here we go, Porsche 911. Oh, we're talking about another car I can't afford. What else we got here? Okay, we're talking about some Holocaust news there. I guess that was the some kind of reunion, or it was what was it got here? Anyways, so old school Holocaust news. Well, it's good to remember that so we don't ever do it again. And what else we got here? We got more cars that we can't afford. The Corvette E-Ray is the first in the model's history with electric motor and hybrid system capable of delivering 6 kilometers of electric only driving. 6? That's not much. Oh well. There's a cool looking Corvette. And what else we got here? Anything else I can't afford? And something Robin Hood's castle faces uncertain fate, but Nottingham Council aims to return it to spotlight. Okay, so now we're talking about Robin Hood. Got a bunch of furniture on sale that I don't need. And we got some food here. This one, I always like looking at the back here at Joseph's Farm Market. Check it out. We got celery for $1.99, lettuce for $1.99. Now that would normally be who cares? But it was $3.88 for celery and $3.88 for a head of lettuce at the cheapo grocery store by my place, and that's like it's like half price. So if I drive out there, I'm saving myself $4. So that's not too bad. Okay, that's a mental note on that one. Okay, that's it for the news. Bunch of cars you can't afford, and there's still lots of jobs out there in the manufacturing sector. So I don't know what they're talking about. Recession. Or I don't know. Can you have a recession where everybody's working that wants to work? I don't know. Okay, here we go. So let's see what the flyers are today. Okay, I love looking through the flyers here. So some of these, you might not know any of these. What do we got here? Oh, Dan is saying that for what it's worth, natural gas is low right now. Yeah, you know what? The gas is low, but what they do here is there's like, oh, you use this much gas, and then it's like they have a delivery fee, storage fee, taxes, carbon tax, all this other junk that they add on it. The gas itself is actually pretty cheap. So what do we got here? Usually I only look at kind of the front page of the flyer because everything else inside is junk food. So here we go. We got some Freshco. We got tomatoes, $1.99 a pound. Not bad for the winter. And they got some other veggies here. Seedless cucumbers, $1.69 each. Not too bad. Might have to go down there. Cheese Whiz. Cheese Whiz. That's so chemically good. I just can't buy it. It's just too filled with chemicals. But I do really appreciate really heavy chemical foods because they engineer it that way. So, and hey, Wrench, welcome to the show. So there's a bunch of stuff here on sale. I don't want to look at it. Oh, Maxwell House coffee. So it's like $7.99 if you have their special. What do they call that? If they collect all your scene member pricing, that's what it's. If you join their scene, if you become a scene member, they spam you with emails and track everything you do, and you save $1, and then they sell your information to other people that'll send you more ads. So I don't really like that. So I'm going to kind of switch over to, Freshco. That's a maybe pile. What else we got here? Food basics. I could go through a bunch of this stuff, but suffice to say, check out the front. That's probably your best, healthiest, cheapest stuff. Now, and the reason I don't like to sign up for those, hey, Dustin. So I don't really like to sign up for those like points plans and stuff like that because I like to pay cash for stuff because, like I was saying at the very beginning here, it's like if you're just paying on your card, you don't really notice it. Like, oh, I'm getting points, and then they sucker you in there too. Sometimes earn 10 extra points, which is like what, a penny or something like that. Earn 100 points, it's 10 cents. And then, but it's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll get this thing. I'm going to save 10 cents, but I didn't need to spend that $2 in the first place. And I also like that feeling. Well, I don't like the feeling of when you got, I got nothing in my wallet, it's empty. Then so every time you're spending, you get an actual feeling of like, oh, I'm losing something here. I don't like spending, so you kind of condition yourself to, if you're paying cash, it's like, oh, my wallet's getting thin. It's like, whoa, it kind of, you have that sense of loss and you're not going to buy the things that you probably shouldn't be buying in the first place or that you can't afford. So, but anyways, that's my theory on it. Anyhow, okay, here we go. What else am I going to say? So pay cash. You know what? I'm going to write this down just to keep track. I'll put my wallet over here so I'm not sitting like this. Okay, here we go. Number one, we're going to say we got a few money tips. Number one, pay cash. That way it hurts. Pay cash. Artistic, isn't it? So there we go. Pay cash for stuff, and then don't. And that's another thing too, is that if you start putting everything on credit cards, then you get this bill at the end of the month. Like you might say, "Oh, that's cool. I got all this food in my cart," or "Oh, I went to Canadian Tire here. Oh, crappy tire's the worst, man." I mean, I love. That's the funny thing about Canadians. The slang term for Canadian Tire. There's a little logo there. Everyone calls it crappy tire because, I mean, you can get cheap tires there. And I guess in the old days the quality wasn't that good, but now they're like, it's okay. But I mean, they have. I'm a big fan of crappy tire, and so if you go in there with a credit card, you're gonna buy all kinds of like cool stuff. Like, I mean, it's cool, but maybe you don't really need it or you can't afford it. Like, here we go. What do we got here for sale? A 3,000-pound utility winch. Wow, that looks pretty cool. I could probably rig that up in my garage, and I could do an engine lift out of my car, or I could lift up the end of my motorcycle maybe and work on it. Or what could I do? Oh, that'd be so cool to have a winch. And it's like, how much is it? Regular $169, on sale. It's only $130. Slap it on the credit card, get some points, and then it's like you're gonna have a tool that you never use, unless you need a winch for something. And people getting stuck in the snow. If you got a Jeep or something, a truck might be good. And then, or you can get suckered into. I don't know. Canadian Tire has all these cool tools and stuff. They're like they always have like socket sets and stuff like that on here. Or there we go. We got a snow shovel on sale. So it's like, my shovels are wearing out a little bit, but I mean, they're probably good for another few years. They just don't look as pretty, and we don't get that much snow anyways. But you got your credit card, yeah, I'll get a new shovel. Yeah, that's cool. It's like, no, you could defer that for a long time, or you might even pick up one for free off your neighbor or something like that if they're getting rid of it. So, yeah, so. Crappy tire. Oh, you gotta love it. Okay, what was I talking about here? So pay cash. Oh, and then yeah. So if we got what else we got here? Metro. Got some pork chops, $2.49 a pound. That's pretty good. But another thing, if you are going to be saving money on groceries, and the thing is, it is good to save money on groceries. I was thinking about this too, because a lot of times. Where is it? I saw some study that said that it was like as soon as like countries where they have the most of the population, they're spending like 40 or 50% of their money on food, they start rioting. So it's like if you can like keep your expenses down for your food, you won't be out rioting. Let the other people get tear gassed. So anyways, that's something to think about. And then another thing too, like I was saying, how on the front page, like here we go, Metro, we got some, what's this? We got salmon, 2 for $9. Okay, how big are they? How much is that a pound? Like that's another thing. You could always bring your calculator with you, or use the calculator on your phone, figure out how much things are per pound, all that stuff. So here we go. We got, so there's your kind of meat, maybe some veggies, I'll bet you in here too. Yeah, and then once you get in the middle, you got all your, actually, usually the flyers will have all your junk food and everything, processed food in the middle. But, so, and that's kind of the way they design their stores too. So if you can manage to physically keep yourself out of the chip aisle and the pop aisle, then, you won't be buying it. So that's another one that is, I'm sure a lot of people know this already, but I'm jogging your memory just because it's things is getting expensive out there. So Number two is if you're at the grocery store, you usually come in and then what is it? Most grocery stores where I walk in, you go into like the veggies section, and then you go through the outside and you got some milk and meat and stuff like that, and then all your junk food's in the middle. So stick to the outside aisles if possible. So okay, we'll say stick to outside. This is at the grocery store. Outside aisles. I think that's how you spell it. There we go. Stick to your outside aisles in the grocery store, and don't be lured down the potato chip or the crackers aisle or the cookies aisle or something. That stuff's like crack, man. So there's that. And what else can I tell you here too? Oh, here we go. Jordan's kind of saying in here, I was talking about crappy tire and how he's not going back to the crappy tire. Why is that? So Jordan bought something from Crappy Tire just before Christmas, tried to take it back within 10 days. They wouldn't give your money back unless within 7 days, but they were closed for 2 of those days. Oh, that sucks. But yeah, you know what? I've generally had a pretty good time at Canadian Tire returning stuff. Like a few times, it's like I totally damaged the stuff myself out of stupidity, and they still gave me my money back. It was like the one time was, yeah, it was. I got my buddy's car. We wanted to jumpstart my buddy's car, but neither one of us had jumper cables, and I had my car, and it was like, well, I should have jumper cables. So I went and bought some cheapo jumper cables from the or booster cables from the Canadian Tire. Went over there, and his battery was totally dead, and it was this big old Cadillac with a huge engine, and so it was kind of cold out, so all the oil's thick, and it's just really working the motor, and like we could like we were melting the the booster cables there. You could smell the plastic burning and stuff, and it's like, this is getting hot, man. Okay, it ain't starting. Okay. And then I said, okay, I think I need some thicker cables than this. So I mean, they smelled like burnt plastic, and I just brought them right back. And they're like, "Oh, what's wrong with the booster cables?" And I'm like, "Well, the car didn't start, so maybe they don't work." And then, oh yeah, here's your money back. And then yeah, then I got some really. If you're gonna get booster cables for your car, get some the thickest ones you can afford, and longest ones too, if you can. So if you have a car end to end, like, or you might have your car parallel parked and someone can only get behind you. So if it has, like, you got a 20-foot length, you could probably get from one car to the next, or 24-foot length. Yeah, because trucks and car, the biggest truck usually is about 18 feet long. So if you got, I don't know, like a 20-foot jumper cables, you could probably do it. But yeah, I went out and bought some monster cables, and I still have them in my car now. They're great. And but oh, no, Dustin, I didn't put the jumper cables on backwards. I did do that once though. Got a nice spark. It was like, it was dark out, and my buddy, and like you put the the negative on negative, positive on positive. Usually black is negative because of dark. I always think of black as the negative is the black cable, because it's or the black end of the whatever you call that clip. Like, black is negative. Ooh, it's evil. Ooh. And so that's the way I remember that. And then and red's positive, or whatever it might be. But yeah, it was dark out, and we had these jumper cables that were all old and greasy and stuff. And I just, like, my buddy's like, okay, you know what to do? Yeah, I know what to do. It was, negative, and I switched them up, and I put one on there and stuck the other one on. It was like, poof, great big huge huge spark in light. Like, it's all dark. I don't know. Surprised I didn't blind myself, but yeah. Yes, Dustin, you got to make sure you get them on right. So and yeah, red is hot too. You could think of that one too. So let me see, what else can we do here. I got sidetracked on jumper cables. Yeah, so Captain Crappy Tire, yeah, everyone gets their own experiences with different stores, and there you go. You know, maybe a well-written, handwritten letter to the boss would do something. You never know. Okay, so there's that. What else can I give you for there? Okay, we'll have another saving tip here. Is check out the sales. Check out what's on sale. Pretty common sense stuff. All right, we're up to there at 3. Check on sales. What's another thing to do? Yeah, let's go 4 things. And when it is on sale, this is what I like to do: is like to stock up on your sales. So, yeah, like we have a. When we first moved in here, I wanted to get a stand up freezer, and I don't know if you can ever hear it going. It's just right over there, but and I have my yeah, I got my freezer over there, and then like whenever we get like a sale on something, like we'll stock up and throw it in there, and there you go. If you can manage to save, and like here we go, I'm talking about how great I'm going to be saving so much money, and oh, I'm a financial genius, right? Then I'm going to go buy an expensive pizza tonight because it's Friday. But the way I figured, you got to treat yourself every once in a while. You can't just live on potatoes, carrots, and onions your whole life. You got to enjoy it too sometimes. And but the way I figured, we save so much money on stocking up on stuff and sales and all that other things. And yeah, I can afford a pizza every couple of weeks. And what else can we do here? Few money tips, stock up. Anyone else got any tips on what we could do? Maybe I'll add them to my my little. I got one more to see. I should do like 5 things. 5. So I need another how to save money tip from you guys. What else we got here? I'm sure I do all kinds of other things there too. Oh, okay. Here we go. I don't need I don't need the suggestion, I guess. Here we go. Number 1. Number 5 will be okay. We have to consider. That's one of the things that. Well, consider the distance you have to drive. So maybe you might save a buck. Okay, here we go. Consider your distance that you got to go to the store. Now, if there's a sale and it's a 2-hour drive away, you're going to burn up all your money on gas. So that's no good. And oh, there's a good one. Reprice insurance premiums. Yeah, oh, there we go. Mona Moore's coming up with. We got lots of tips here. Drink tap water. Yeah, I mean, I don't buy bottled water, man. It's like maybe it's just my age, but I mean, we used to have like an old garden hose that would sit outside all summer and be like, yeah, you're outside playing, you don't feel like going all the way in the house, just turn on the turn on the hose. Okay, no bugs, drink out of the hose, whatever. And yeah, beer and pop, that'll all add up to. Or even if you do partake of the beer or the pop, you can get like if it's on sale or whatever the cheapest thing is there. You can kind of look at just about anybody can look at whatever they're doing and find out something a little bit cheaper that they can do. Is there a way of getting cheaper insurance on your car or your airplane? Or although airplanes is tricky because there's only a few. There's a lot of different insurance brokers around, but there's really only about 4 insurance companies that actually cover the airplanes in the world, and they all have their subsidiaries. But it's basically 4. And if you try to, where I used to work, we used to ever check out the insurance premiums on airplanes, and they're all like totally. They're in bed with each other, but it's like everything is exactly the same, like because there's no competition there. But for car insurance, house insurance, yeah, that's that's something worth checking out. Okay. And then Wrench is asking, how much do people pay for renter insurance? I'm looking at $450 a year. Renter insurance. Not sure what you mean there, Wrench. You could probably be a little bit more specific. If it's yeah. Okay, I don't quite get what you're saying there, Wrench. But okay, what else can I tell you here? Oh, and actually, you know what? Oh, plane renter is required now. Okay. Yeah, you know what? We don't. If you're renting an airplane here, you don't have to have your own personal insurance with it. It's just like everything that you pay by the hour. Every place in Canada here, pretty much, it's just the insurance is basically for those airplanes is paid by the owners of the airplanes, and that's rolled into the price. So the other thing there, usually there'll be some sort of a deductible if you have to. What do we got to do here? Yeah, so it'll be if I guess it kind of depends on the place where you're renting from, but there's usually some sort of deductible where if you roll the plane up into a ball and you walk away, you might be on the hook for a couple $1,000s worth of deductible, depending on where you are. And then other places will say, okay, if you pay $20 extra here, then if anything happens, you don't have to pay the deductible. So there's a lot of different ways of doing it. But oh, that's interesting. Ranch is saying that the flight schools are busy now, so they don't insure the planes in Kansas. And it's on it's on the pilot to do that. Wow, that's something new. I've never heard of that. So, anyways, yeah, so that's about it for today. We'll recap our money saving tips. Yeah, a lot of good tips that were given from the gang here in the chat. So drink your tap water instead of beer and pop. What else we got here? And check out your insurance every once in a while. Even like fees at your bank. Are you paying fees on your credit card? Could you switch to a credit card with no annual fee? Sometimes they sneak in these little fees here and there, and you can switch somewhere else and save a little dough. And we're all going to need that because stuff's getting expensive. So here we go. Let's do a recap here. A few money tips. Number one, pay cash. Feel the pain. And okay, stick to the outside aisles when you go into the grocery store. Check out your sales, and then you can stock up if you have a freezer. Even just even if you just have a regular freezer fridge combo thingamajig there, pack it in there, man. And then consider the distance that you're driving. There's no sense in driving all over town to save a buck here, a buck there, but you're using up $5 in gas. You just consider that too. So, all right. And yes, Mona Moore says fight consumerism. Definitely fight the power. Yeah, consumerism is a real thing. The less that you can expose yourself to like advertising and stuff like that. Like when I was in psychology class, they were talking, or like one of my classes, years ago when I was getting my BA in psychology, they were talking about how like your brain, everything that like, whether you like it or not, you see that advertisement, it's affecting your decision. So if you say you have Coke and Pepsi, okay, so you have a pot, there's a vending machine here for Coke and there's a vending machine here for Pepsi right next to it. Whichever advertising you've been exposed to the most, and the most that you've like tasted that in the past, like you can't fight that. It's like your brain's all wired that like that's why here in Ontario, everyone drinks like rye and Coke, or whiskey and Coke or something like that. But you go out east into like Nova Scotia or even Quebec or Northern Ontario. Everyone drinks Pepsi up there. Like it's Pepsi country here and Coke country here, and it's all just straight advertising. So if you can minimize the amount of advertising, even like getting ad blockers for your computer or whatever you can do, fighting consumerism is a big thing. You almost have to be anti consumerism. To like, it's not just much. Oh, I'm going to save my money. I kind of get like offended that I get these advertising, and I have a little bit of hatred for advertisers because they're trying to mess with my head, and so I have that anger against them, and then we can fight the power of consumerism and save some cash and then go flying and blow all your extra money on stuff that you don't need to do, like going flying and eating pizza. So yeah, today's pizza night because it's Friday, and thanks for showing up, everyone. Yeah, Friday. So I'll see you guys on Monday because I do this Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Eastern, and we'll just shut her down. And hopefully, you guys have a fantastic weekend. Okay, we'll shut her down now. Bye.